It is time for the 8:05 post show to break down all the action, and a lot of ripping went down today on Friday. The Lexus US Open of Surfing presented by Pacifico. How about Jett Schilling? His hand's gonna be sore, all these high fives, especially when he gets patted on the back from Big 20. Cole Hausman, proud of that performance. San Clemente on top in that last heat of the day, and then heat before, Kolohe getting through. A lot to celebrate there for Rosie Hodges' hometown, new hometown. Well, you're a resident these days. Joe Trappell, Rosie, and Mitchell Salazar. Mitch, you had fun today.
I did.
You got to hang out with Big Tony, Grayson,
Dude,
Ivan. They gave you new shades.
That was a challenge right there. Like when I knew I was going to be doing that today, I was going into it with a lot of open-mindedness, and it was real fun. I thought today was a great day of action. A lot went down, though. I mean, people, really went down in terms of the rankings. Some other people really succeeded. George Pitar, buzzer beater too. Big moment for him, Joey.
Yeah, also losing Eli Hanneman. He was looking to go back-to-back this year.
Yeah, we've had a couple upsets today, and we're going to get into it in this post show. But this is, heartbreak on the Challenger Series because we're obviously at that halfway point. Some people can't afford these mishaps. They've got their two throwaways that some have great results. But, yeah, it was tricky conditions today.
Yeah, definitely got tricky in the afternoon as well with that wind picking up. It wasn't really obvious on which waves to work with out there.
Yeah, and it kind of switched halfway through the round, too. So those people that had the early heats in the round, I thought had much cleaner conditions. All of a sudden, it just switched over. We had big performances like Jett Schilling, Joe.
13-1-7 total and a win, and some high fives from the crew. Jett Schilling's on the glass with AJ.
Yeah, you guys were talking about just how tricky the conditions were. Jett, managing it pretty well, though, for you. What were the key identifiers of which ways you wanted to take off on and what you wanted to do once you took off?
I honestly saw that there was a lot of ramps out there, and yeah, I don't know. I was like, all right, this is my strength, and I'm just going to stick with it and just go for it.
Well, that's what I was going to say is we've seen you have some massive airs, some great moments because of it. So while the conditions have changed so much, how do you feel like it set up you for success?
Yeah, I don't know. I just looked out, and there was air section, so that's all I could really ask for, and I'm just stoked. Yeah.
As you should be back here in Huntington Beach. You got a great crowd here in the athlete zone on the beach. Just how special is it for you to get a chance to compete here?
Oh my gosh, it's a dream, honestly. I lost in the 9th round last year, so it'll be a good battle with Jackson. He's such a great friend, and he'll probably want to beat me just as bad because we have a little rivalry, but it's all good, and I'm very excited.
Looking forward to seeing you then.
Thank you.
I can't wait for that one. Whoa, Jackson Bunch, Jett Schilling. There's a lot of similarities there. How do you separate them?
Well, I just like that I like that he called out the rivalry. I like it when people can just recognize that you have two people that are ultra competitive, kind of in that similar age bracket, and they have a lot to prove.
Dude, that's probably why we got the reacts from the boys. They're going, oh my gosh, Jackson versus Jett. That's a fun rivalry to look forward to, Mitch.
And that's a rematch of World Junior Championships, the final over there, too. And I still remember when Rosie, he cried next to you in the post-heat interview. It was an emotional moment. Tomorrow's a big day for that guy, though. You got to do it on home soil, Joe. This is the event where you got to prove you can be a champion right here in HB.
Right. Well, I can't read my notes anymore, but we've got Riaru. Gosh, what a legend he is. Excellent scores all week, and he did this crazy punt today in a very emotional celebration heat. Ian Gouveia, wow. After a few solid years of trying to get himself back into the championship tour, it became official today, Rosie.
Yeah, incredible. Welcome back to the championship tour, Ian Gouveia. But this was such a rad heat to watch. Riaru was just on fire, Mitch.
Yeah, and he got this 8 out of nowhere, too. This is the single highest wave score he's had in his CS career. Jadson Andre had this wave right towards the end. Could have been a buzzer beater, just came short. But then Jan Gouveia, Joe, he's back on the CT for 25.
What a big celebration for Ian Gouveia. A lot of things could have gone different ways when you know that you're very close to clinching. That could add more pressure. But he was able to ride in with his famous stink bug stance and celebration. He's one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet, but emotional too. The son of Fabio Gouveia, he's kind of surfing through his veins. He's absolutely is going to be dangerous next year in 2025. Losing Jansen and Teixeira, who were ripping yesterday. So it was not an easy heat, Rosie.
Yeah, stacked. I mean, a lot of competitive knowledge in that heat, but Riaru has been super impressive to me throughout this event, Mitch.
Yeah, he definitely has, and I feel like a lot of those people that go under the radar, all of a sudden they're in the semifinals, they make the final. That's like Hiroto Hara did it just over a decade ago, Joe.
That's so true. Yeah, a lot can change on the live rankings. One of the coolest additions to this season. You can find it all on worldsurfleague.com. After every heat finishes, you get an update. Ian Gouveia officially on tour. We did lose Samuel Pupo. His good friend Joao Chianca knocked him out, so that's a shaded name to see his scenarios moving forward for the rest of the season. George Pitar up a spot. Jackson Bunch into the round of 16 to take on Jett is all the way into the top 10 position. And also Dakota Walters moving up 10 spots up to 12th, competing through finals weekend. And a really familiar name, Kaiwa Belly, also starting to head the right direction on his road to requalification. Enjoy those live rankings on the website. After every heat, double check, see where your favorites are going on their hope to qualify. On the women's tour, it's top 5 at the end of the season. And one surfer we've been watching very closely, especially in the last few months, Vahine Fierro from Tahiti representing France. Really tough moment today, getting an interference.
Yeah, and unfortunately for her, she just went up against two surfers that are very, very good in these types of conditions. Laura Hobb had a great heat, even though she bowed out. And then Vahine made it interesting. She did have a couple of waves towards the end, Rosie, but it was a priority interference alongside Laura Hobb that got her eliminated in this heat.
Yeah, this one, I mean, you can't help but feel, as you can see there, that impeding the priority there, Laura pushing the issue. But for Vahine, I mean, she's won in Tahiti. She's doing so well in the rankings. And then to have that error is just incredibly heartbreaking. And that's going to be a mistake I don't think she'll ever make in her career again.
Oh, so tough knowing how well she's been surfing as well. And had big plans for the U.S. Open. It was some great surfing, though, from Keala Tomoto Bannard, representing Hawaii, and also a veteran of WA, Bronte McCauley, staying in the top 2 spots to move on into the round of 16. And remember, it's all about live rankings. Vahine still has more time. This is top 4, but she'll have to reset for just 2 more events in the Challenger Series, Rosie.
Yeah, and that's so tough. But there is still a chance. She's got a good result, but now taking home this kind of lackluster result with another couple throwaways, it just makes things a lot more difficult.
Right, just the sting of the travel too. You know, with so much pressure she probably felt in the Olympics and not really fulfilling what her goal was on her home court. Then to come here and have a sting of a priority moment, that's going to be tough to shake off.
Yeah, and I think the key thing to say right here is that both of those heats were within reach. You know, and that's why it feels so much worse, because you knew that you had a chance to be able to make it to that point, and you just weren't successful in that, Joe.
Well, the only surfer of the top 10 out of the contest, Vahine Fierro, as we check out the live rankings, you see she's dropped out of the top 5, and Nadia Arostarbe, 817 earlier, takes that spot in 5th for the time being, but a lot of contenders heading into the weekend that are still in the mix.
Yeah, the ladies keeping it interesting for us, all advancing there, so keeping things tight. The top 5 qualifying for the championship tour. I mean, this is going to come down to the last event, I have to say. I mean, there is opportunity for 2 surfers to qualify here at the US Open, but I think those rankings are going to stay really tight.
Pretty fun watching how it flip-flops, because Erin Brooks and Bella Nichols are good friends. Erin won her heat, moved to number 1. Bella won her heat. Okay, back to number 1. It's fun to watch heading into the weekend. Now, a fun part of the 805 post show, the Cup Noodles Wave of the Day. Riaru, congratulations. This wave was a beauty. Another excellent score going to the air, Rosie.
Yeah, just incredible. I mean, this was a clutch moment for him where he had to kind of get that score, solidify that lead, and make his name known. So that was really cool to see him perform this kind of surfing.
8.83 on one move, Mitch.
Yeah, pretty unexpected and spontaneous, which is something really cool. And as Rosie was pointing out, at that point of the day, it was already getting tough. So for him to be able to do that right there, one of the few excellent scores we saw in the entire round, Joe.
See how the waves are. A little wave check. Surfline, thanks so much for getting into the weekend. We saw the biggest day today. It could be a little bit easier to manage tomorrow as it trims down with size, with Fabio and Amelia still doing their workout there, Ro.
Yeah, and you know, with this intense hurricane energy that we've seen, it dissipates really quick, Mitchell, where a ground swell will stick around for 2 or 3 days. We're going to see things kind of slow down a little bit, but that swell's going to combo up. There's still going to be some lingering height in the surf. Saturday and Sunday, it still looks super contestable.
Yeah, and what I really like too is that Sunday we're supposed to have a little bit of wind swell, so if that northwest wind picks up, it should be much peakier than we saw today. I like those crossed up days right here for summertime, HB. I think it's going to be a great weekend, Joe.
Peaks. Pop-up peaks, air sections.
Yes, sir.
Big roundhouses, carves, everything.
You got the Heritage Heat going on tomorrow.
Oh my gosh.
And then you have the Challenger Series. That's going to be a great weekend.
Mike Parsons, Shane Beshin, Tom Curran,
Deba.
Jeff Deffenbaugh, Matt Archibald.
Ooh.
He was on the San Clemente board riders team as well as Shane Beshin, and they were unbelievable. But yeah, it's going to be a total buffet.
You
We
guys are
gonna
loaded with talent.
gorge ourselves
Exactly.
over the weekend.
Well, it's time for the daily top 5. Hard to choose these ones, but they earned it. Coming in at number 5 on the list. That's right, Erin Brooks. 6.33 going as fast as she can, Mitch.
Yeah, and you know, it would be a historic moment if she's able to achieve qualification status at this event, Joe. The way she's been able to surf has been very impressive. To me, more than anything, it's how well she's been able to compete all year long. Would be a major moment for Canadian surfing if she's able to do it right here at the Open.
Competing with that ankle brace, saying that she hurt herself just before Bolito. So Erin kind of working through the niggles of an ankle injury, but looking strong.
Dad helping her with the hair there, too. Number 4, great job to Jarvis Earle, 7.67 and a 6.73.
This was such a great heat. Miggy Pupo and Jarvis Earle were trading waves, trading the lead. Jarvis Earle in the end clinched, and working with Brett Simpson, he is looking like a really good pick for this event.
Dangerous. Nadia Arrow, Star Bay, getting the number 3 spot today, Mitch.
Yeah, and it's hard to say that not only did she shine out there, but her wave selection was on point. I talked to her yesterday. She was a bit nervous about being one of the first heats in the morning. Didn't look so when she was on these waves, Rosie.
Yeah, she was unbelievable. Great to see her. And just her post-heat interview, so likable, so relaxed. Yeah, big smile.
Number 2, Kalohe Andino's buzzer beater, Rosie.
This was crazy. And I think listening to Kalohe with the interview, just saying, you know, that section, he knew he needed the score. Going on that tricky section, no grab, just super technical. He takes the win.
Just heard "Get It Right" echoing through
They
the
got
main
it
street.
right.
What a moment. All passion, all fire into the next round to take on Morgan Siblick, and winning the post show today, Ian Gouveia, back on the CT. Parabéns, congratulations.
Yeah, and he was able to do just enough to make it into the next round too. An emotional moment. If you go on Instagram and see his dad, Fabio's post, pretty emotional stuff too. Really proud of this kid. He's worked hard, Joe, and qualifies within the first 4 events of the year. Awesome stuff for young Gouveia.
Ian Gouveia, great in the air, great on the open face, great in the barrel as well. Absolutely charges. He's matured a lot. He's learned a lot. He calls himself an athlete now. I think he just relied on his natural talent on tour. How funny was that? He was eating whatever he wanted, said lots of chocolates, and now he's he's focused and feeling better than ever.
Yeah, I love that, and getting emotional on that podium, chatting with AJ, and I love that. I love seeing the passion and the heart and the sacrifices to get him to this moment and to see him requalify after what, five years?
That's right. It's been a while since 2018, and we have some big matchups tomorrow, Mitch.
Woo.
Erin Brooks, Sally Fitzgibbons. What a story there.
Yeah, an awesome one. A lot of history between those two as well, but I'm looking forward to seeing Alan Cleland for the first time compete on the round of 16 tomorrow. He's got a big heat. Emrod, Jett Schilling, Jackson Bunch. It's going to be an awesome weekend. You better show up tomorrow in HB.
Lakey Peterson, Bronte McCauley.
Ooh,
I might not sleep tonight.
Yeah, no, and we know it's going to happen.
This
That's
is
the
pretty
thing with the
comfortable.
US Open. You're like, once it's going, and it's on. So big old stacked up weekend for us.
I'm sleeping here. This is great.
As well.
We got a great view. Thanks, everybody. That's it for the 805 Post Show. See you tomorrow. It's on 7:30. Take care. This copyrighted event broadcast is produced by the World Surf League for broadcast around the world and may not be retransmitted, reproduced, rebroadcast, or otherwise distributed or used in any form without the written consent of the World Surf League.